What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we're taking a look at Airplane 2, the sequel. Now, if the first Airplane was a parody on disaster movies, this is a parody on science fiction movies. Uh, Pretty much, in Airplane 2, a shuttle gets overtaken by a computer named Rock, and now it's up to Ted Stryker and Elaine to try and save the day. Alright, that's the overall plot of Airplane 2. Let's talk about it. When comparing Airplane 2 to Airplane 1, Airplane 2 is a very weak movie. Not only that, Airplane 2 basically tries to be a remake of the first movie in general. Uh, so I'm just going to get this out of the way. I'm just going to get the positives out of the way first. The cast in Airplane 2, I thought everyone was fine. Robert Hayes and Julie Haggerty returned to their roles as Ted and Elaine. They still get the same good chemistry they had in that first movie. This movie, same chemistry. I don't like the direction they took the characters in. Specifically at the beginning of the movie, Ted and Elaine are no longer together. Mainly because this movie tries to do the whole storyline of Ted going mentally insane because he found glitches in the new space shuttle. I would not have had Ted and Elaine split up or have a forced triangle with this guy named Simon that this movie sets up. Mainly because after like what 15 minutes, that whole thing is completely wrapped up, and you never hear from the Simon guy ever again. So yeah, Ted and Elaine being split up at the beginning of this movie should have not have happened. It was stupid. Did not like that whatsoever. Uh, some of the jokes and gags in this movie are very hit and miss, to say the least. To be honest with you, I think the funniest part of this whole movie is the courtroom scene where they recount events from the first Airplane movie, and that is where Ted is declared mentally insane. I thought that entire courtroom scene was really hysterical and really funny. Uh, I also like the whole running gag of Rock, who is basically a ripoff of HAL 9000 from a 2001 Space Odyssey. I thought that stuff was mildly entertaining. The return of Peter Graves and Lloyd Bridges as Captain Over and as McCluskey. You know, fun to see those characters come back and return. That was cool. William Shatner makes an appearance in this movie as a man named Buck Murdoch, who is a superior to Ted during the war. Buck Murdoch's character is basically that of Robert Stack's character of Kramer from the first movie. There's no difference whatsoever. Was it entertaining? Is it entertaining to see William Shatner in this movie? Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie. Do I think he should have appeared much earlier than he did? Absolutely. Shatner basically comes in the last 15 minutes of this movie. Why they waited so long to introduce his character, I don't know. He should have been there. The second Rock took over the space shuttle, Murdoch and McCluskey should have been working together to try and help Ted. Yeah, that's how I would have done that. And there's also this subplot of a mad bomber that's also on the plane. Why this subplot is in the movie, I will never know. It's just a really forced and flimsy excuse to use the bomb to try and disable Rock. If that was the case, this movie's supposed to be a jokey parody. Have have like a thing, have like something that says only use if necessary. Why do you gotta have a whole thing with a mad bomber subplot? It was stupid. And the whole subplot with this kid and his dog named Scraps was also really silly. So yeah, I don't really have all that much to say about Airplane 2. It's not a bad movie per se. It does have some okay things in it, but when comparing it to the first movie, I think Airplane 2 I think Airplane 2 does not is a movie where it doesn't take itself. Wait, let me find my words carefully. The first Airplane movie, everybody played it straight, and that's where the comedy came from. In this movie, everyone is not playing it straight; they're playing it goofy, and to me, it's not as funny if the acting is not being played serious amongst the ridiculousness of this movie. Because there are a lot of moments where these characters they act like cartoon characters to me, and it's not as funny as the first movie where everyone played it totally straight against ridiculous things. This one, everyone just looks and feels ridiculous, is what I'm trying to get at. Well, yeah. Is Airplane 2 a horrible sequel? It's not a bad sequel, I guess. I mean, it's funny in places. It does have some decently funny moments to it. But like I said, when you compare it to that first movie, it's definitely low in quality. And you can really see that the creative team behind the first Airplane movie were not involved in this movie because the jokes, not all of them land, and story and a lot of characters do regressions, and then those regressions end up getting wrapped up within 10 minutes or less. Uh, so yeah, with all that being said, Airplane 2, the sequel, for me gets a solid 5 out of 10. It's middle of the road. Nothing horrible, but nothing you're gonna remember. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Airplane 2, the sequel. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.